My name's John Moore. I'm from Mystic Surfboards. I've been shaping surfboards since 1991 in my basement in college at Rhode Island School of Design. I started shaping surfboards because it was a combination of hydrodynamics and science and technology and process and tools and materials. It was just a bunch of stuff I didn't sort of know about. As a young surfer, I'd only surfed for a handful of years at the point when I started shaping boards. And I took the desire to surf and the desire to have more surfboards than I could afford and decided to build my own. So after graduating college and wanting to make surfboards, I moved to Cape Cod and started a surf shop called the Pump House. And that's where I got to make real production boards, where I was just trying to make boards for the rack and boards for custom customers that I'd known throughout the years. So I was in Rhode Island making boards, moved to Cape Cod for about 5 years, owned a surf shop there. And then at that point, we had a really good hurricane season, and that hurricane season spurred me to want to surf more year-round and look for more temperate climates. I've been surfing in hot summers and frozen winters, so I moved to Marin County in '95. After being in Marin County for about 15 years, through that course of that time, I was still doing custom boards and some stock boards here and there. And after a handful of years, I started up what became 2 Mile Surf Shop out in Bolinas, California. So I was making surfboards in Marin, getting them glassed in Santa Cruz, driving back and forth and surfing the Marin through Santa Cruz coast, which is very good. Don't tell anyone. For about 10-15 years. Then I sold the surf shop in Bolinas and moved full-time to Santa Cruz to work with John Mel at the Freeline factory. And after that factory burned down, I relocated myself up to Montara. So now I'm sort of in the middle of that stretch between Marin and Santa Cruz, which is a nice place to be for a surfer. So as a surfer of about 5 or 6 years, after those first 5 or 6 years, I wanted to have boards that weren't exactly like what everyone else was riding. We were getting all kinds of product from Florida and from California, and in New England our waves were different, and we had slower waves and a lot less waves. As I got exposed to more and more waves, I wanted to change the shape of my surfboards to behave in different ways, and I started wanting to make that connection myself, be hands-on, have a vision of a board, learn how to use the tools and materials, and kind of come up with an end result. So some of the benefits of working with a shaper on a custom board is, even though surfboards are very generic and people talk about them kind of just in length and width, thickness, and sometimes these days volume, there's a lot of subtle details throughout the building process of a surfboard that can make very subtle changes in several different areas, which make a board perform a lot different or a lot more similar, if that's a synopsis, a way to say that. To make a custom board, there's 5, 6, 7, 8 different elements that all come together to make a very generic looking form, have a subtle different gear, what I call different gears. As the surfer gets better and progresses on a board, they actually can unlock a board. It doesn't really have a top end to it sometimes.